Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with absolute certainty that your financial future is secure. I am not talking about the fleeting excitement of winning the lottery or stumbling upon a lucky break. I'm talking about a deep, unshakable confidence that comes from understanding the true mechanics of wealth. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money, running on a hamster wheel of anxiety and desire, only to find themselves in the exact same place year after year. But what if I told you that the barrier between you and the life you dream of is not a lack of opportunity, but a lack of the right mental framework? Today, we are going to deconstruct the mind of a man who did not just play the game of money, he mastered it so completely that he became a living legend. We are not just listing tips, we are rewriting your financial DNA. Stay with me, because the next few minutes will challenge everything you thought you knew about success. Warren Edward Buffett, born in Omaha on August 30th, 1930, is not just an investor. He is a philosopher of patience and a master of human behavior. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, he built Berkshire Hathaway into a colossal empire, not by being frantic, but by being terrifyingly consistent. He has consistently ranked among the wealthiest individuals in history, even taking the top spot in 2008. But here is the secret that most people miss. His wealth is not a result of a secret algorithm or insider trading. It is the result of a specific set of behavioral rules that anyone can apply, yet almost no one does. Why? Because these rules require you to conquer the one enemy you see in the mirror every single day. We are going to explore how a boy who sold chewing gum and delivered newspapers became the most successful investor of the 20th century, and more importantly, how you can apply his specific mental models to escape the rat race forever. You might be thinking that this does not apply to you because you do not have millions of dollars to invest. That is your first mistake. The principles of wealth creation are universal. Whether you have $100 or $1 billion, the mathematics of growth and the psychology of spending remain exactly the same. The biggest objection people have is thinking they started too late. They look at their age and think the window has closed. But let me ask you a question. If you start doing the right thing today, where could you be in 5 or 10 years? Now, compare that to where you will be if you do nothing. The time will pass anyway. You might as well become wealthy while it passes. Let us begin with the foundation. Warren Buffett has 2 rules for investing. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. This sounds painfully simple, almost like a joke, but look closer. This is not just about the stock market. This is a rule for life. Mathematically, avoiding loss is far more important than chasing big gains. If you lose 50% of your money, you do not need a 50% gain to get back to where you started. You need a 100% gain just to break even. Loss devastates your progress. In your daily life, this translates to risk management. It means avoiding consumer debt that drains your future to pay for your present. Every time you pay interest on a credit card for something you did not need, you are violating rule number 1. You are losing money that could have been working for you. It is a leak in your boat. You cannot sail to the island of prosperity if your boat is taking on water faster than you can bail it out. Think about the last time you bought something on impulse. Maybe it was a new phone when the old one worked perfectly fine, or a car that was slightly out of your budget. That momentary dopamine hit was a loss. You traded your freedom for a fleeting feeling of status. Buffett teaches us that wealth is the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. This brings us to the concept of the circle of competence. Buffett famously says that you do not need to be an expert on everything, but you must know where the perimeter of that circle of what you know is and stay inside it. In modern terms, stop trying to get rich quick in schemes you do not understand. If you do not understand how a cryptocurrency works or how a specific business makes money, and you put your savings into it because you saw someone else do it on the internet, you are gambling, not investing. You are stepping outside your circle of competence. Real wealth is built by doubling down on what you know and ignoring the noise. It is about focus. A major study on the psychology of success and money revealed that individuals who can filter out distractions and focus on a single long-term goal are statistically far more likely to accumulate significant assets than those who constantly switch strategies. It is the difference between digging 100 shallow holes and finding nothing, or digging one deep hole and striking oil. Now, before we dive deeper into the psychological traps that keep people poor, I have a small favor to ask. If you are finding value in this content, if you feel a spark of motivation to change your financial destiny, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. This simple gesture helps us reach more people who, just like you, are looking for a way to improve their lives. It tells the algorithm that this message matters. Thank you for being part of this community. Let us continue. One of the most profound lessons from the Oracle is the distinction between price and value. He says, price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Most people go through life obsessed with price. They look for the cheapest items, or conversely, they buy expensive items thinking the high price tag gives them value. But value is intrinsic. When you spend your time, which is your most precious currency, are you getting value in return? When you scroll through social media for 3 hours, the price you pay is 3 hours of your life. What is the value you got? Was it entertainment or was it anxiety? Buffett reads for hours every day. He invests his time in gaining knowledge, which compounds just like money. He understands that the best asset you have is yourself. Inflation can erode the dollar. Taxes can take a portion of your earnings, but no one can tax your skills or take away your knowledge. If you become the best at what you do, you will always command a share of the resources around you. Let us talk about the emotional component of money. We often think of finance as a logical field, full of spreadsheets and calculators, but history tells us a different story. The stock market, and the economy in general, is driven by human emotion, fear, and greed. Buffett explains that you do not need a high intelligence quotient to be wealthy. If you have an average intelligence, what you need is the temperament to control the urges that get other people into trouble. This is backed by behavioral economics. The concept of loss aversion shows that people feel the pain of losing money twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining it. This fear paralyzes them. They sell when things get tough and buy when things are expensive, driven by the fear of missing out. To win, you must be a contrarian. You must be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. This applies to your personal life too. When everyone around you is upgrading their lifestyle, buying bigger houses and newer cars, it takes immense emotional strength to say no. It takes discipline to live below your means when society screams at you to consume. But remember, the goal is not to look rich. The goal is to be rich. There is a massive difference. Looking rich is a liability. Being rich is an asset. Let us look at the power of compound interest, or what Buffett calls the snowball effect. He has a biography titled The Snowball because his life is a metaphor for it. He started with a small flake of wet snow and a long hill. He started rolling it. At first, the snowball was tiny. It took years to grow to a noticeable size. But as it rolled, the surface area increased, and it picked up more snow with every revolution. Today, it is an avalanche. The human brain has a hard time understanding exponential growth. We think linearly. If I take 3 steps, I move 3 meters. But exponential growth is deceptive. If you double a penny every day for 30 days, you do not end up with a few dollars. You end up with millions. The key ingredient here is time. Warren Buffett accumulated 99% of his wealth after his 50th birthday. Let that sink in. 99% came after age 50. This is the ultimate testament to patience. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want the result now. We plant a seed and dig it up 10 minutes later to see if it has grown. That is why we fail. You must be willing to be bored. Building wealth is actually quite boring. It involves saving, investing in dull but profitable things, and waiting. If you are looking for excitement, go to a casino. If you are looking for wealth, embrace the boredom of consistency. Think about the marshmallow test, a famous psychological experiment from Stanford University. Children were offered a choice, 1 marshmallow now, or 2 if they could wait 15 minutes. The researchers followed these children for decades. The ones who had the discipline to wait for the second marshmallow ended up with better grades, better health, and significantly higher net worths. They mastered delayed gratification. Every time you choose to save instead of spend, you are passing the marshmallow test. You are telling your brain that your future self is more important than your present impulse. Now, I want to challenge you. This is a practical application of Buffett's philosophy. I want you to try the inner scorecard challenge for the next 30 days. Buffett lives by an inner scorecard, meaning he judges himself by his own standards, not by what the world thinks of him. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives a modest car. He does not need the world to applaud him to feel successful. For the next 30 days, I challenge you to make 0 purchases that are designed to impress others. Before you buy anything, ask yourself, if no one else could see this, would I still want it? If the answer is no, do not buy it. This applies to clothes, gadgets, even the food you eat. Strip away the need for external validation. You will be amazed at how much money you save when you stop trying to buy the approval of strangers. Another critical aspect is the company you keep. Buffett says, it is better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you will drift in that direction. Look at your 5 closest friends. Are they talking about ideas, growth, and investment? Or are they talking about people, complaints, and spending? Energy is contagious. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain about being broke but do nothing to change it, their mindset will infect you. You need to curate your environment. This might mean spending less time with certain people and more time consuming content that elevates your thinking, like reading biographies of great men and women or listening to educational podcasts. You are the average of the inputs you allow into your mind. Let us discuss the concept of mistakes. You will make them. Buffett has made them. He bought a textile mill called Berkshire Hathaway that was failing, a terrible business at the time. But instead of giving up, he pivoted. He used it as a holding company for other investments. He did not let a failure define him. He adapted. Many people are so afraid of failing that they never start. They suffer from analysis paralysis. They research for years, but never put a single dollar to work. You must understand that failure is part of the tuition you pay for success. The only fatal mistake is giving up entirely. Consider the daily rituals that build this kind of success. It is not about working 20 hours a day. It is about working efficiently and thinking clearly. Buffett spends most of his day just sitting and thinking. In a world that glorifies busyness, where everyone is rushing from one notification to the next, taking time to think is a revolutionary act. When was the last time you sat in a room without your phone, without the television, and just thought about your financial strategy? Just thought about what you really want from life? Clarity precedes mastery. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. You need to define what wealth means to you. Is it a number in a bank account? Is it the freedom to travel? Is it the ability to provide for your parents? Once you have a clear definition, the path becomes visible. Without it, you are just wandering. Let us touch upon the data regarding happiness and money. Studies consistently show that beyond a certain level of income that covers basic needs and security, more money does not equate more happiness. However, the lack of money, the stress of poverty, is a major cause of misery. Money is a tool. It is like oxygen. If you have enough, you do not think about it. If you do not have enough, it is the only thing you can think about. The goal of following Buffett's teachings is to reach that point of oxygen, to reach a point where money serves you, rather than you serving it. It is about sovereignty. When you have savings, you can walk away from a toxic job. You can speak your mind. You can take risks. Money buys you the freedom to be who you really are. That is the true value. It is not the Ferrari, it is the freedom. As we move through these lessons, remember that information without application is useless. You can watch 1,000 videos like this, but if you do not change your habits, nothing changes. The heavy lifting is done in the mind first, then in the wallet. You have to start viewing yourself as a capital allocator. Even if you earn minimum wage, you are a capital allocator. You decide where every dollar goes. You can allocate it to a temporary pleasure, or you can allocate it to your freedom fund. The choice is made dozens of times a day. It is the cumulative effect of these tiny choices that determines your destiny. Think of your money as soldiers. You can send them out to die in a war for consumer goods, or you can capture more soldiers to work for you. The rich understand that every dollar is a seed. The poor see every dollar as something to be harvested and eaten immediately. You must shift from a consumer mindset to a producer mindset. Look at the companies you buy from. Do not just be a customer. Aim to be an owner. Even buying a fractional share of a company changes your psychological relationship with the economy. Suddenly, you are not just a victim of rising prices. You are a participant in corporate growth. This shift is subtle but powerful. It changes how you read the news. It changes how you view the world. Let us make this practical. I challenge you to try the 24-hour rule starting today. Whenever you feel the urge to buy something non-essential, wait exactly 1 full day. This simple pause forces your rational brain to catch up with your emotional impulses. Studies on human behavior show that the anticipation of buying often releases more dopamine than the purchase itself. By waiting, you break that cycle. If you still want it tomorrow, fine. But often, you will realize you never needed it at all. Warren Buffett did not accumulate billions of dollars just to swim in coins. He did it because he loves the process. Real wealth is having the time to do what you love every single day. Stop measuring your success against the highlight reels of others on social media. Your journey is yours alone. The most valuable investment you can make is not in a stock ticker, but in yourself. Read more, learn a new skill, and nurture your relationships. These pay dividends that inflation cannot erode. Imagine where you could be in 10 years if you started planting these seeds today. Do not let the fear of starting small stop you from starting at all. If you know someone who feels stuck or overwhelmed by their finances, share this video with them right now. It might be the spark they need to turn things around. Remember to click the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey of growth together. I will see you in the next video.